Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeoluwa. In this video you will learn how to sew this corset with yoke and Queen Anne's neckline. So I have a tutorial on how to draft and cut this already up on my channel. If you want to check how to do that, you can visit the video before this one, or I'll just drop the link in the description box and then you click on it. Now in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to sew it from the beginning to the end. You also learn how to come out with a neatly finished yoke, and I'm also going to show you how to sew the back and make your laces like this. Now if this is something you're interested in learning how to sew, please stick around and watch this video to the end. And if you're seeing this video and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do what to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up so it can be visible to many more people, and also do not hesitate to leave your questions and your comments in the comment section. Thank you very much guys. Now let's get started. So I've gone ahead to cut out on my fabric using the pattern paper that I drafted. Now this is the center front, which is on fold. The center is on fold, and then I added 0.5 inch allowance round. Then this is for my cup. I also added 0.5 inch round for the allowance, for the sewing allowance. And then I decided to use my marker to demarcate where I'll be sewing, because this part can be very confusing, so that you won't sew the wrong side. So you demarcate. I also added 0.5 inch round here. Then I cut out fabric and I cut out lining that I'll be using to cover it up, and I also went ahead to cut out the wadding that I'll be using to pad it. So I'm going to be making my own cup from the wadding. Now for the side front, I also added ½ inch round, and then at the side same, I added 1 inch. You can add 1.5, depends on what you want. Then this is for one of the sides of the cups. I added ½ inch round for it, and I also cut out lining and then wadding for it also. So since this is a 3-part corset, you can decide to mix the fabrics and use something that you like just to make the corset to pop out more. And then this is for my yoke. I added 0.5 inch allowance round, and then I used a different fabric for the yoke also. Now for the back, I added 1 inch seam allowance and then 0.5 inch round, and also for the yoke I added 0.5 inch round, and I used another fabric for the back yoke too. So the same fabric I used for the front is what I used for the back. Now let's get into the joining of these fabrics together. So guys, if you are not using this just for practice, please go ahead to join stay on every part, on the center front, the side front, the cups, and the back pattern, the back part of this corset. Please join stay to it so that you can give it more structure. Now I'm going to join the center front and the side front together. As you can see me doing, I'm going to sew the 0.5 inch that I left as the allowance. So guys, whatever I'm doing for the fabric, for the main fabric, I'm also going to do the same thing for the lining. Now for the cups, I'm also going to go ahead to join them and sew them together. Make sure that you do not make any mistakes while doing this part. You use the pattern paper to guide you. So what I'm doing for the fabric, I'm also going to do the same thing for the lining. Now for the wadding, don't bother to do anything at this stage. I'm going to show you what you're going to do for the wadding. So after joining the cups together, I'm also going to join the third part, which is the one at the top. You also join the top part together. So I decided to label this so as not to confuse myself. This is the center front and this is the side. So guys, this is the result after joining the center front and the side front, and then after joining the cups together. Now the next thing to do is to join these cups to the center and the side front. So I'm going to join it starting from the upper part there. I'm going to sew and sew. Please, you have to be careful while sewing this part so that you won't squeeze, it won't be squeezed or anything. So you can see how it looks like on the lining. I already went ahead to sew it on the lining so that you can see how it's going to look like on the main fabric too. Now for the wadding, I would have to trim out all the allowances that I left for the wadding. You know, I cut out through the fabric, so I'm going to trim out all of the allowance, everything. So for this part here, I didn't trim out the other side, but I'm going to trim it out later so that it's going to fit into the cup of the main fabric. So you trim out every allowance that has been left on the wadding. So don't worry about the other part that I didn't trim out. I'm going to come back to trim it out. I'm going to show you how it looks like without trimming out. So what I'm going to do now is to join the wadding together the same way I joined the fabric, but this one we are going to be using a different method. So if you have a zigzag option on your machine, you have a zigzag option there, you sew using the zigzag option. So you just join them together like this and you sew. But if you don't have the zigzag option, you can just go ahead to sew it this way, just a little bit, so that it won't be too bulky. So guys, this is what I have after joining the cups. You can see how it looks like, and then this is what I have for my wadding. So I use the zigzag stitch to join the wadding, the cups together, and then you can see how it is. Now you know that this wadding has it has a front part and back part. So the front part is the part that has gum on it, so that is where we are going to be fixing to the fabric. So you can see here that I had not yet cut out the other 0.5 inch that I left out when I was cutting. So I'm going to go ahead to cut this out so that it can fit perfectly into the fabric, into the cups of the fabric. So this is what I have after trimming out the excess 0.5, and then you can see that it fits better into the cups. And then I also have that space of my of the neckline. You make sure that the wadding is not interfering with that neckline, so you'll be able to sew it well and it won't be too bulky. I'll go ahead to trim off the second one, and then I'll fit it into the cup. Now what is left to do is to use my iron to attach this wadding to the fabric. So remember that the wadding has different sides. It has one side that has gum and the other side which is just plain. So you make sure that you are using the side that has gum on this fabric, on the main fabric. So I'm going to use my iron, and then you make sure that you are using your tailor's arm too, so that the curve is going to come out well. The cup is going to come out really well. So guys, you can see what I have after attaching my wadding to the cups. You can see how it looks like, see the back too, and how it is sticking well in place. So you make sure that you use your iron to make sure that this sticks very well. Now it is time to fix the yoke. So the first thing I'm going to do is to tape this side of the yoke. So that side is going to be taped, and then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Now for the back yoke, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead to tape this part together. If you have a bias tape, you can also use your bias tape. So this is what I have after taping. You can see how it looks like. I only taped one side, and also this is the other side, and this is for the back yoke too. I taped the neckline, I taped the part where the buttons will be fixed, and I also taped the other curvy area. Now I'm going to pin this yoke to the neckline area like this. I'm going to pin the lace first of all, then I'll come back to pin the lining. So we are trying to make sure that this part comes out really neat. So you make sure that the right sides are facing each other. The right side of the yoke and the right side of the fabric, they are facing each other. So after pinning that together, I'm going to use my lining to cover it up. So I'll use the lining, the right side of the lining should be facing the right side of the fabric. I'm going to use it to cover it up this way, and then I'll sew. So this is what I have after joining them together. You make sure that you are sewing only the neckline area and not the armhole. That is if you are going to be fixing sleeves to it later on. So you sew only this neckline area from this point here of the neckline. You sew it straight down to the other part. So for the back, I'm going to do exactly the same thing so that the yoke is going to come out really neat. I'm going to join the lace to the main fabric. So this is what I'm going to do, the right sides facing each other, and then I'm going to use the lining to cover it up. So after doing that, I'll take them out to my machine to sew. So guys, this is the result after sewing. You make sure that this is well pressed, especially the neckline area. You make sure that it is well pressed. So this is what I have for the front, and this is what I have for the back. So you can see that the yoke came out really neat, and then you don't have any fabrics, any extra fabric sticking out. Now what I'm going to do next is to join the shoulders together and also join the sides together. If you want to make this as a dress, you can go ahead to add the other things you want to add. Maybe that is the skirt part. You can go ahead to do that. But just for this tutorial, I'm not adding any of that to it. I'm just showing you how to sew the corset with yoke. So this is what I have after joining the shoulders and the sides together. Now the next thing to do is to fix in the loops that you use for the laced back. Now I already went ahead to sew and cut out the loops that I'll be using. I cut out a length of 2 inches. So to fix them, I'm going to just take it this way and fold, and I'll use my pin to hold them. So you can just carefully watch this video to see what I am doing. So after making sure they are well pinned together, I'm going to use the lining this way to cover it up. So that is the way it's going to come out really neat. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side too. I'll pin everything down and then I'll use the lining to cover up, and I'll sew with 0.5 inch. So guys, this is what I have after sewing the loops together. You can see how clean and neat this is. And then we've come to the end of this tutorial. Let me know if you gained something from this tutorial. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also give this video a thumbs up. Also share this video to your friends. Thank you very much guys for watching. I'm going to see you in my next tutorial. Bye.